thanks for tuning to the channel. Today I want to talk about the accessories that I put on my 1250 GSA. And at the front here, I want to let you know that there are a lot of accessories I put on. I'm not sponsored by anybody. My channel is a micro channel, paid for everything that's going on this bike. And for each item, each accessory, I'm going to tell you three things. One, why I purchased the accessory. I'll let you know if I installed it myself or paid somebody to install it. I'm not a super mechanical guy, but some of the things I did install. And thirdly, I'll tell you if I would buy the accessory again. So I'll tell you why I bought it, if I installed it, and if I would buy it again. And by the way, if you're going through this video and you like what we're talking about and you like the video, a thumbs up would be really helpful. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel would be great. Thanks so much. Okay, let's go to the front of the bike and start there. On front of the bike, I'll start with the CLEARWATER lights. I bought these lights because I wanted something to light up the night roads for me. And also I wanted to be seen better in daytime. I did a lot of research. CLEARWATER is one of the top accessory lights for motorcycles there are. I'm in California. I actually drove up to their facility there where they build these things up near Sacramento and had them installed there. And it comes to the lights, the brackets, the wiring. I did not install it myself. This is way over my pay grade, but I love these lights. If I would do it over again, I'd buy them again. If I buy another bike in addition to this one or replace this one, the first thing I'll get are the CLEARWATER lights or something similar to that. So at nighttime, or I don't really ride at night when it's dark. I don't like to. But early in the morning, leaving at 3 or 4 in the morning to go somewhere, I love early morning dark going to daylight. But afternoon going to night, not for me. But early morning, take these off, these covers off. Got a little yellow shield in there. Put that back on and you have just a regular headlight. Daytime, put the yellow plate in there, plastic in there, and they're great for daylight running. Again, daylight, you can adjust it with your handlebars, the intensity from 1 to 10. In daytime, I'm running about 3, just so people see yellow lights. And you know how good these are, because we've all ridden down the road and seen the yellow lights coming at us. You can't miss them. So again, if I had overs again, I'd buy the CLEARWATER lights. Okay, next, we have the ALTRIDER headlight guard. Again, I bought this because that headlight costs, they say, 1,500 bucks to replace. This was really expensive though, it was about 180 bucks. I installed it myself, it's pretty simple. And if I had overs again, I would buy this again as well. Just to protect the headlight, and it comes off really easily. You put it back on, easy to clean, so very easy. Also on the front of the bike, and I'll get a camera shot here to see it, but underneath here, the radiator, I put radiator guards on, just to protect from rocks and whatever hitting the radiator. They were 180, 200 bucks, something like that. I don't know that I'd get those again. I installed them. They're pretty easy to install, but don't know if I'd get them again if I had this same bike, but I have them and there you go. So now moving from the headlight guard to the windscreen. This is a V-Stream windscreen. It's really cool. I put a link above to a little report on this, a little review on this. But I have 3 windshields. I have this one, it's my day-to-day 90% windscreen. If I'm going to ride a lot in dirt, not go very fast, out in the hills for 2 or 3 days, I'll put a smaller windscreen on. That way if you fall, you don't break this thing with the handlebars. And I've broken a couple of windscreens with my handlebars falling because Danger Dave falls too many times. And then I also have a longer windscreen, a tinted windscreen that is for touring. If I'm going to ride, 500, 600, 700 miles or do a trip on all asphalt, I might put that taller windscreen on to help with the airflow. However, 95% of my riding is this V-Stream windscreen. Okay, now coming to the side of the bike here, I've added these ALTRIDER crash bars. These are stainless steel. They're very strong. I bought them at Redmond, Oregon, the BMW rally, and I replaced them with, I had the OEM crash bars on there, but I will tell you, what I put in the OEM crash bars is that plate that kind of goes, that covers the cylinder head. But I had a problem with that because when I fall, that plate would dent and would push against the cylinder head cover, and it did rub a leak, or I don't know what happened, but I did get a leak in one of my cylinder head covers, had to replace that. So I felt this is better. They're stronger than the OEM crash bars for sure. Then I bought these, then I bought the XZ 1250 cylinder head covers. They go on. I put the crash bars were on, then I put these on after the crash bars were installed. It was a bit of a job, but I did it. ALTRIDER installed the crash bars for me for free up at in Redmond, Oregon. So that's the protection for the cylinders, which you got to protect. If you have this bike, you need to really spend some thinking about protecting, particularly if you ride on dirt and you might fall like I do. These were like 500 bucks. I would buy these again if I had overs, and I would buy these cylinder head covers if I had overs again. So I installed the cylinder head covers. I did not install the crash bars. Okay, underneath here is the skid plate from ALTRIDER. The skid plate was about $450. I bought it because the skid plate that was on the bike, the OEM skid plate, was very small, and I don't know, it probably was great if you just rode street. But I bought this bike to ride in dirt, so I bought that skid plate. It's about 450 bucks, very heavy duty. I installed it, which is a miracle, but it took me a little while, but I got it installed, and if I had overs again, I would buy that skid plate again as well. If we go up on the bike, these are not bark busters, a different brand. They came with the bike, and again, if I didn't buy these, they came with the bike when I bought the bike. If I didn't have them, I would certainly buy bark busters or something similar to that, because these are really helpful when you fall, when you get into butt brushes and that sort of thing. Okay, let's go to the top of the bike and we'll talk about the MOSKO Moto tank bags. I did buy 2 tank bags. Initially, I bought the MOSKO Moto NOMAX tank bag. A great tank bag. It's for organized. It's got a bladder inside you can drink from. Really cool. I use that when I go on longer rides. When I'm going to be on the bike for 2.5 hours at a time, I'll use that. That's usually on asphalt road trips, but if I'm riding on dirt, I'll get the Hood 5 because it's easy to get my stuff, and I stop enough to get drinks of water and other ways. Comes with the straps. These straps do a little bit of roughage on the paint, but not bad. Again, it's a dirt bike, so I don't mind getting a little bit scratched up. So these were expensive. The Hood 5 was about 200 bucks, and the NOMAX tank bag was about 300 bucks. They're a lot of money, man. Everything's a lot of money, but I would buy them again if I had others. If I did again, I'd buy them again. And in the back, we have the MOSKO Moto Backcountry 35-liter tank bag, the panniers, or rather the panniers. These are great. They will last a lifetime. They are so tough and durable. I have fallen on these numerous times. I've abused them, and they're great. They really, really work well. And these are on my bike probably 90% of the time. I do have a set of hard panniers that came with the bike. They're kind of the plastic BMW panniers. I use those occasionally, but not very often. I use these most all the time. On top here, I have the Stinger 22. It's just a bag. It'll turn into a backpack. I've got the Stinger 8 as well. There's a video up top here that tells you about the Stinger 8, which is very similar to Stinger 22. This is just a little bit bigger. It comes with straps. If you're hiking, you can put it on your back. You can use it as a backpack, but it stores a lot of good stuff there, and keeps things that are very available. It's 100 bucks, and I'd buy it again if I had to do overs. Now, on the bottom of the kickstand, I put on the extra guard here, and really that's designed so that when you go into soft soil, the kickstand won't sink in very deep. It works, but also the negative of this is if you're riding on asphalt, even dirt, if you don't have level dirt or something that is tilted away from the kickstand or into the kickstand, it's going to have a tough time finding a spot to park your bike. So sometimes when you go to the restaurant, you want to park your bike and you back in, well, you've got to do a little rigmarole. So when you put this on, it does change the angle of parking on the bike. The bike is more upright. So if you have very, very flat cement or even tilted up away from the kickstand, you won't be able to use it. If I had overs, I'd get it again. I bought that on eBay for about 30 bucks, 25 bucks I think it was. Some of the places, ALTRIDER has them for like 80 bucks, 75 bucks. So I bought the cheap one, been on there for about 5,000 miles, hasn't come off yet, so I do that again. Also, on top, I bought this SARGENT seat just recently. There's a review above here that I did on this. This was 450 bucks. I installed it myself. Really hard to install a seat, right? But this seat has been amazing to me. I really have enjoyed this seat. I've put a few thousand miles on it. And the reason I know it's good is because after riding 2 or 3 hours, I don't think of my butt anymore. I have to think about it and think, oh, I feel pretty comfortable. So this was 450 bucks. I sold it myself. I would definitely get it again. That's the SARGENT seat. Great seat. Okay, on the front of the bike, I've done a few things. One, I've got the NAVIGATOR 5 on here. This is the third one because if you follow BMW at all, the Navigator, they've had some pretty serious issues with this. I bought one, it failed, bought a second one, it failed, and this is the third one. And they tell me at Garmin that they fixed the problem. So this has been on the bike for a few thousand miles and about 5 months. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't cause any problems. Here I just bought this little adapter so I can plug in my USB-C and A cables. Works really nice, easy. I installed this myself, which is really hard, right? I installed that myself, which was really hard, and I would buy these again. Although the Zoom X10 or whatever it's called, that might be the thing to get here. I haven't looked at it, but anyway. Next, we have the lock mount. This is a great, it works really, really well, but I rarely use it. I don't put my phone up here because I have GPS here, and if I want to use my phone, I stop. It's all connected. I can make calls, receive calls. I just don't want it up here, so I rarely use this. So if I had overs, I would not buy this again. I don't need it. Also on the handlebars, I've got these risers from TOURATECH. They're about $100. I installed them myself, and I would get them again. The bike came with risers on there, a very familiar brand, but they're really big, bulky, and they were tall. And while it was comfortable when I stood up on the bike, when I sat down, I felt like my hands were above the bike, above my shoulders. They weren't, but it felt like that. So I found these kind of a medium-sized riser, and they fit me perfect. I'm 6 foot. Standing up, I've got to lean over just a pinch. It's kind of that ready position, which is great. And when I sit down, I feel very, very comfortable. Also, these mirrors. These were extra. I bought these mirrors because this helps with, if you fall, they're very durable. I have fallen with them, unfortunately, and they are durable. I've not broken anything, and they've bent everything, but that's a little extra, probably about $180. I would get those again. So on this side of the bike, not much here, but I have this rear brake reservoir cover. I installed it. You know, I'd probably get it again. There is protection there, and I've got a few scratches on this thing, so it's probably done its job very well. So I would probably get that again and easy install. Now what came on the bike was this Jekill and Hyde Exhaust. I've got a button on the handlebar. I could change between 2 tones from kind of a quiet tone to more of a rumble tone. I would never buy that for my bike. I would use a standard OEM exhaust, muffler exhaust. In fact, I do have that in my shop, and I may just switch it out because it's there, so it's easy. But I would not buy that again. You can install it yourself, but I would not buy it again. I don't need the loud noise, not my thing. So I would stick with the OEM exhaust. On the other side of the bike is the ALTRIDER side stand switch guard. There's a little switch there on the BMW, and if that breaks, your bike's not going to start. So you have to fix that electrical connection. And I'm just not a very mechanical dude, and I'd probably be stuck there till my inReach emergency button, people came and got me. But there's a video up top there. It kind of tells you a little bit more about that if you want to take a look at that. Anyway, that is about all the options on my BMW. I think. That's enough, right? So thanks for watching. There'll be links below for some of the stuff. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is just what I felt I needed for my bike. And apart from a couple of things, I would buy all these things again if I had over. So thanks for watching. God bless. Ride safe.